All right, guys, we're going live in just a little bit. Gonna do just a quick countdown here. Make sure everybody's got those commercials out of the way. And yeah, today we're gonna be talking about the Rings of Power on Amazon. Holy cow! So my big worry was, can you recapture that feeling of epicness from the films? And I'm gonna tell you right now, they absolutely did. They wrapped it up in two fantastic episodes. Like, I was really happy with Game of Thrones, but when this came out, I didn't realize two were coming out. I just clicked on it and I saw two episodes. I'm like, this is gonna be great. Settled in, threw it on the TV, and man, so crazy impressed. So if you're worried about it being as good as the films, don't even stress it because they are 100% awesome. And what I'm going to try to do is help your enjoyment of the rest of the series if you're not too much into Lord of the Rings. Like, I'm not too good with names, but I'm kind of good with overall themes of what's going on here. But first of all, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please take some time to click down or give it a thumbs up to help the algorithm, to help the channel along. But one of the first things I really loved about the series is they had Galadriel doing the prologue, just like in every one of the opening prologues for Lord of the Rings. She did it. And timeline wise, if you look at it, in Lord of the Rings, she was about 3,000 years old. In this one, she's about 1,000 years old. So when we saw her as a kid, she's probably like 100 years old. So when we see her, she's still in her warrior state. She is definitely a lot more aggressive in nature when she was younger because she was trying to, avenge the killing of her brother Finrod. As we've seen, they do skip a lot though. They have to fast forward quite a bit, but the feeling of her doing the prologue just kind of brings it in to that familiar feel of what the movies did. And once you just at the very beginning, you see the level of actors that they put into this. Like when you see that first interaction between little Galadriel and her brother Finrod, just that conversation and how it was filmed, you know that you were in for a really good experience. And as they start bringing in more characters, and you see the quality of acting, you know you're going to be in for a really good ride. Now, when she's doing that prologue, they are fast forwarding thousands of years, and we do miss a lot. You see very quick snippets of it, like the battle. You see Malcor. He had all the Balrogs and all the dragons and all the orcs. They were all on his side. So you steadily see the introduction of the dragons and the Balrogs in there, and it's a very small vision of him when him and if you're not too familiar with Shelob, the big spider from the first one, um, its ancestor, Angolian here, they both killed the trees of life. And she drank a whole bunch and became super powerful and became kind of a problem for Melkor later on. But you don't get to see any of this. But when the trees are drained, you kind of see the top of his pokey head sticking out there. Let me see if I can show you a picture of what that looks like here. Share my screen here. And we do a window. So this is kind of, I would say, what they would look like here. So here's a quick image of them draining the tree of life. So you can kind of see an image of it. But again, that's Shelob's ancestor there, Angolian, and then you got Melkor back here. So after they drain the tree, you can see a brief shadow of him. But again, this is skipping thousands of years ahead of, literally thousands of years in the prologue. And Finrod got captured, and he got tortured a bunch. They're pretty detailed stories of him and what happened when Melkor captured him. But that's what sets Galadriel off to a total craziness. And you get to also see everybody's back. All of the races are back basically. So you have the high elves, then which is Galadriel and Elrond and everybody else. So those are the high elves, and then you get Legolas's Sindarian elves. So the soldier elves, those are them that were watching over that wall. So you got two separate types there, and you also have what I found was a little bit interesting is the Boromir is actually Elrond because the Ned Stark, Boromir, the guy that plays Boromir in Lord of the Rings, um, the, in the character is him, like the younger version of him from Game of Thrones. So when you look at it, Boromir is Stark, and he plays Stark in you know Game of Thrones as a younger version. So I saw him, and I was like, "This is pretty funny that it's the same younger actor playing Stark that was Boromir in Lord of the Rings." So that was kind of hilarious in my mind. I know that's kind of nerdy, but we do see kind of a version of the Hobbits in it. Not exactly meant to be the Hobbits, but the Hobbits are in it. And then you also have just regular men, and we're going to get the introduction to the Numenors later on, probably where you see Galadriel crash land with the other guy. They're probably going to crash land in Numenor. In fact, here is a quick map of what it looks like, the map, right? So they end up here on the left, and they end up on the right, way over here. And right here in the middle is Numenor. So if they were floating around somewhere in here, and at the ending of episode 2, they probably are going to end up here, right where Isildur is at. So that's going to probably be where it's picking up at the ending portion there. What else did I want to show you? Oh, here we go. So if you're wondering what's going on with like the supreme beings, like where's Melkor, this isn't a really good chart because each of the Valar, so you have Iluvatar here in the middle. He's like the god. He created everything. And then you have your Valar here on the second level. And then each of them had like assistants basically, and that's where you got Gandalf and Radagast, and you got the two wizards, and you can see how Melkor on the right over here has like the orcs and the trolls and the dragons and the Balrogs, and you got Saruman and Sauron. So I'm bringing this up because the fireball guy, we don't exactly know who that guy is yet. It's probably not Gandalf because Gandalf didn't come till later, but it might be one of the blue wizards. I'm unsure as to when each of them came, but he definitely had a little bit of Maiar. That's what this rank of positioning is Maiar is in here. So we'll see who he is. And the overarching theme of this episode or the series is we got to figure out who Sauron is, because he's disguised himself to trick the elves into making these rings, and we don't know which character is Sauron yet, and I don't know if we've been introduced to him or not. So we're gonna have kind of like a Scooby-Doo thing where we're trying to guess who the bad guy is. And I don't know who it is so far, because most of the characters are peace characters, like they already have their names in the books. He has a name, but they changed it, so we don't exactly know who he's going to be. So we got to kind of wait on that to see what's going on. Do I have any more pictures here? No, that's about it there. But there's a lot of great things that I liked about this first episode and the second episode. The costuming was really good. The acting was supremely good. Really happy that they didn't kind of cheap out and just get really horrible actors for it, but they put a lot of money and effort into it. But that's the kind of overarching themes that we're going to see. Probably a lot more fast forwarding coming through. So I can't wait till the third episode. We're probably going to see some Numenorians. And again, those are Aragorn's ancestors that we're going to run into. I did also like you can see similarities between that Hobbit race because they're kind of short and they eat weird things. Like they're eating snails, and that was kind of nice how they did that. I like the interaction between Durin and Elrond. Just kind of showing the snarkiness of dwarves, right? I mean, the concept of their lives not being, and keeping in mind, dwarves do have extended life, but not as long as elves. But I like how they kind of showed that contrast and how they were once friends, and kind of Elrond was like, what are you talking about? And how much it kind of meant for Durin for him to be there. That was nice as well to have. So really, from now on, we're going to get the introduction, because now we see that Sauron is back. It's going to open up, and we're going to see a lot more of them investigating. And you can just kind of see the sides are set, and it's going to be really fun to see how they're going to pull these characters together so they can unite. As we're going to see in probably episode 3, you're going to have Galadriel hooking up with the Numenorians, and I don't know what that's going to be like. I don't know what type of relationships they have, but we're going to have a really good look at Numenor. All right, guys, that's just a quick review of episodes 1 and 2 of Rings of Power. It's going to be a great episode. We can just see now the sides forming, and all of the races are back. You saw some ends at the ending of when the fireball was coming over at the ending of episode 1. Can't wait to figure out who Sauron is. Can't wait to figure out who the fireball meteor guy is. Can't wait to see how they bring in that Hobbit race to interact with the other ones. and it's going to be a fun one. Don't mind this kind of logo up here. This is kind of basically just a test run using StreamYard. So if you're wondering how I'm doing the streaming service, I can do that using StreamYard with this up here, but I'll probably upgrade it because I can only stream in 720p. So I'll probably be upgrading it to the next version up here, but I'll be able to do comments and all that other stuff. So basically just a test run, but I just had to get the word out. If you're wondering if The Rings is worth watching, you got to do it because it does recapture all of the awesomeness of the movies. All right, guys, thank you for watching. And if you get a chance, I'll be live streaming almost every day now, talking about who knows what, but I wanted to get that word out. Thanks for watching, guys.